All right, fellas, let's cut straight to it. Imagine this scenario. You're out somewhere, maybe at a coffee shop, a park, or even just walking down the street. You see her, she's stunning, she's confident, but here's the kicker. You don't know if she wants you to approach her. Suddenly, you're stuck overthinking. Am I reading this right? Is she interested, or am I just imagining things? Look, missing these subtle signals could cost you the chance to spark an incredible connection. And no one wants to be left with that nagging what if in the back of their mind. That's why today we're breaking it all down for you. We've got 5 undeniable signs that a woman wants you to talk to her, plus a seriously game-changing bonus tip at the end, so stick around for that. Now, here's the deal. Understanding these signs isn't just about making your move with confidence. It's about creating real, authentic opportunities for connection. Women don't always communicate directly. Often, their interest comes across in subtle, almost unspoken ways. But here's the good news. Once you learn to pick up on those cues, your whole approach will shift, and trust me, she'll notice. Before we jump into the signs, you need to understand why women send these signals in the first place. It's not about playing games. There's actually a deeper reason behind why it might feel like she's being so subtle. For generations, societal norms have placed the responsibility for initiating interactions squarely on men. Whether it's fair or not, a lot of women still operate within these unspoken dynamics, using nonverbal communication to gauge interest and test the waters. But it's not just about society's influence. On a personal level, subtle signals allow women to assess a guy's awareness before becoming too vulnerable. Think of it as a filter. If you're tuned in enough to read her cues, you're already standing out from the crowd. Picking up on these signs shows you're paying attention and not just waiting for your turn to talk. That's huge. Here's another layer to this. Women value men who have the emotional intelligence to notice the little things, like shifts in body language or changes in eye contact. Why? Because it shows you're not just physically present, but mentally and emotionally engaged too. And when you can respond to these signals in a way that's confident, respectful, and natural, the entire interaction flows smoother. Listen, I get it. Most guys don't pick up on these things naturally. You don't wake up one day with a PhD in reading subtle body language. But here's the key you need to remember. Emotional intelligence is a skill. Like any other skill, it takes observation, patience, and practice to develop. And trust me, the payoff is worth it. When you start recognizing these cues, you're creating an atmosphere of comfort and trust. That's the foundation for meaningful connections. Women don't open up to just anyone. They open up to those who get it. Now, here's your mission. Listen closely as we walk you through the 5 clear signs she's waiting for you to approach her. These aren't vague or hard to spot. They're right there in front of you, but you've got to know where to look. And don't skip out early, because at the end, we're dropping a bonus tip that could completely change the game for you. All right, are you ready? Grab a pen, maybe take some notes, because here we go. This is how you level up your game and never miss an opportunity again. 1. The power of her gaze. All right, let's start with what might be the most obvious but often misunderstood sign of interest: her eyes. Fellas, eye contact isn't just a glance, it's a full-on signal that she's interested. Now, how does this play out? Imagine you're at a cafe and you catch her looking your way. She holds her gaze just a little longer than usual, then glances away. But wait, not even a moment later, she sneaks another look your way. Coincidence? Nope. That, my friend, is her way of saying, hey, I noticed you and I'd like you to notice me back. But it's not always bold or obvious. Some women are a bit more shy or reserved. Instead of holding your gaze, you might catch her stealing quick glances and then looking away as soon as you notice. And don't write that off as disinterest. It's not always about being bold. Sometimes it's about testing the waters to see how you'll respond. Now, here's how not to mess this up. When you catch her looking, don't turn into a deer in headlights or accidentally stare her soul out of her body. Instead, meet her eye contact, confidently hold it for a couple of seconds, and then here's the kicker. Add a warm, relaxed smile. That tiny smile is like saying, hey, I see you noticing me, and I'm open to connecting. Eye contact is like the opening scene of a movie. If you nail it, you set the tone for everything that comes after. But if you miss it, well, it's like walking out on the movie before it starts. Don't overthink it. A little confidence and a smile go a long way, and it shows her you're someone worth talking to. 2. The near and dear clues. Now, here's the second sign to watch for, and it's all about where she is in relation to you. Pay attention, because proximity is a serious giveaway that a woman is interested. You know that moment when you start noticing someone just happens to end up near you again and again? Like maybe she shifts closer in line at the coffee shop, or she picks the treadmill right next to yours at the gym, even though the entire row is wide open. Don't chalk it up to coincidence. That's proximity at work. It's not just about where she stands, it's also the vibe of her body language. If she's finding reasons to stay near you and her body is angled toward you, you're on to something. Bonus points if she subtly mirrors your movements, like adjusting her drink or crossing her arms when you do. That's a subconscious way of saying, I'm vibing with you. Open body language, a surefire green light, arms uncrossed, relaxed posture, and an inviting energy that almost pulls your attention toward her. It's like she's silently screaming, come talk to me already. When you notice these signs, what should you do? First, pay attention without being obvious about it. Confidence doesn't mean staring her down, all right? Approach her respectfully and with ease. Something simple works wonders. If you're in the same space for a reason, start with that. For example, in a bookstore, you might say, I see you browsing this section. Any recommendations? Here's the bottom line. If a woman positions herself near you consistently, she's definitely hoping you'll make a move. Combine that with an easy and natural approach, and you've got the perfect recipe to start a genuine conversation. 3. The fidget and play game. Okay. This third sign is often overlooked, but it's a gold mine for understanding when she's interested. Pay close attention to playful or nervous behavior, because when nerves mix with attraction, you get the fidget effect. You've probably seen it before, maybe without even realizing it. She's fixing her hair a little too much, twisting her necklace, fiddling with her drink straw, or even lightly bouncing her foot under the table. No, she didn't suddenly have an energy drink. That's her being nervous around someone she finds interesting, which could very well be you. Now, nervous behavior doesn't just stop at fidgeting. Playful behavior often tags along. She might crack a joke or even lightly tease you. You say something mildly funny and she starts laughing like you're the next big stand-up comedian. Why? Because it's not just about your joke, it's about you. Playful teasing is her way of keeping the energy light while also building connection. It's not just fidgeting and teasing either. Watch for how animated she becomes. If she's engaged, smiling, and maybe even slightly flustered, there's a good chance she's hoping you'll take notice. But here's where you need to tread carefully. How you respond to this playful/nervous energy matters. First, match her energy, but don't overdo it. If she teases you, tease her back lightly. If you notice her fidgeting with her bracelet, you can say something like, that bracelet must be lucky the way you keep messing with it. It invites fun without making her feel self-conscious. Remember, playful energy is an invitation. It's her way of opening the door for connection while testing the waters to make sure you'll respond in a way that feels safe and fun. Your key here? Be relaxed, be kind, and don't take yourself too seriously. Matching her playful vibe signals that you're on the same wavelength, and from there, the connection only grows. Or she's making the first move and it's not an accident. All right, let's flip the script for a second. Did you know that sometimes women make the first move? Yep, when a woman is interested, she might drop little invitations for you to take the lead. This is what we call subtle initiation, and if you're paying attention, it's hard to miss. Picture this. You're out and about, and she leans in with a question like, hey, do you know what time it is? Meanwhile, you both know she has a phone in her hand, or maybe she comes out with a compliment like, I love your jacket, where'd you get it? Trust me, she's not moonlighting as a detective in a fashion crime drama. Nope, these are her sneaky little ways of giving you an opening to start a conversation. Pay close attention to playful comments too. She might tease you or throw in a lighthearted challenge like, I bet I can guess what you're drinking. Spoiler alert, she's not trying to outsmart you, she just wants to keep the interaction fun and relaxed. Now, what do you do when she initiates? Match her vibe, plain and simple. If she's playful, toss the ball back with some friendly banter. Oh, this jacket? Thanks. I had to wrestle a mannequin for it. What's your fashion secret? See how that opens the door to more conversation? The golden rule here is to keep it light, natural, and engaging. Be curious about her, but don't go into interrogation mode. Women love a guy who can make things flow effortlessly. If she's going out of her way to start something, take the hint. This isn't the time to play it cool. Step up, engage, and watch the conversation come alive. 5. The I'm not leaving anytime soon strategy. Here's a fun one for you. Lingering for no reason. This is when she flat out finds ways to stick around you, even if there's really no reason to. It's one of those signs that's incredibly subtle, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Imagine you're out with a group of friends, talking, laughing, doing your thing. Suddenly, she's casually sliding into your circle. She might not say much at first, but she's there. Or maybe you're at a party and she's magically always where you are, chatting with someone nearby, taking her time at the snacks table, or just scrolling on her phone, close enough to land on your radar. Here's the thing, that proximity, it's not an accident. She's hoping you'll break the ice and pull her into the spotlight. Even the smallest actions, like lingering at the bar after finishing her drink, can be a giant beacon that she's waiting on you. Now, how do you handle it? Start by acknowledging her. You don't need anything fancy or elaborate to strike up a conversation. If you're all in the same group, direct a friendly question her way. Or, hey, what's your take on this playlist? Easy, casual, no pressure. If it's just the two of you, use the environment. This spot always has the best vibe, don't you think? From there, guide the conversation into something a bit more personal, like hobbies or interests. This point is all about recognizing when she's giving you the green light to approach. Don't make the rookie mistake of thinking she's just hanging out by coincidence. If she's staying in your orbit, it's time to turn your awareness into action. 6, the perfect timing advantage. Okay, here's where we crank things up to the pro level. Sign number 6 isn't a behavior you notice in her. It's all about knowing when to make your move. Timing, my friends, timing is everything. You might recognize all the signals in the world, but take the wrong step at the wrong time, and you could derail what could have been an amazing connection. For example, let's say she's in a group with her friends, laughing, talking, and completely involved in the moment. Interrupting her right then? Not the move. Why? Because it's going to put her on the spot at a time when she's not fully available to engage with you. The better option, wait until there's a natural opening. Maybe the group loosens up or she steps away for a bit. Approach her when she looks more relaxed and approachable. If she's scrolling her phone while lingering nearby, there's your window. Timing also matters for how you approach. Forget canned pickup lines. They almost always sound stiff, and trust me, she'll see right through it. Instead, keep it grounded in the moment. Comment on something happening around you. This place has such great energy. Have you been here before? Not only does this show you're present, it also opens the door for her to contribute her thoughts. Here's the pro tip that separates the meh from the memorable. Once you start the conversation, your job is to make her feel comfortable. Joking around or being genuine can go a long way in putting her at ease and making her want to keep talking to you. The perfect approach isn't about perfection, it's about timing, authenticity, and being attentive to her vibe. Nail those, and you're golden. Remember, understanding the signs she's giving and approaching with confidence is the perfect combination to start a meaningful conversation. Be attentive, read her body language, and don't overthink it. Sometimes the simplest gestures or cues are all it takes. The key is to be genuine, respectful, and present in the moment. Trust yourself, and when the time feels right, make your move. Approaching her doesn't have to be intimidating. It's an opportunity to connect and discover more about each other. Now that you know the signs and the timing, go out there and make it happen.